Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Please take your seats.
Fair's not coming over. Just don't.
On page 24, we welcome in our Shabbat angels, both the angels in heaven and our angels tonight, our confirmation students. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech Malachi Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachem Leshalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi On page 10, we welcome one another with Hine Matov. Sing with us, everybody. Hine. Hine Matov.
Please be seated. Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our confirmation service. Thank you to our family, friends, and teachers for joining us as we reaffirm our commitment to living a Jewish life. This past year, we have learned about Jewish values, Musar, and Midot, the danger of cults in society, anti-Semitism, Zionism, and alternative modes of prayer. We traveled to Washington, D.C. to participate in the Letaken Social Justice Seminar, where we lobbied our lawmakers and learned about Reform Judaism's stance on social justice issues. It was a year of growth, introspection, and making memories. Throughout tonight's service, our confirmation class will be leading our congregation in worship with familiar prayers, as well as new interpretations from contemporary artists.
As Jews, we are always connected to Israel. Today, we celebrated Yom Yerushalayim, 56 years of Jerusalem's reunification in 1967. Israeli paratroopers burst through the Lion's Gate and liberated the old city from Jordanian control, reclaiming the city eternally yearned by our people. 56 years ago, the heart was restored to the body of the Jewish people. Im eshkechech Yerushalayim tishkach yemini. If I forget thee, O Jerusalem, may my right hand forget how to move. Jerusalem is in our daily prayers. It is in the direction we pray. It is mentioned at our weddings and funerals and over 660 times in the Bible. It is at the core of the Jewish people. The rabbis of the Talmud describe Jerusalem as a portal to heaven. Yerushalayim shel ma'ala, a model of what an earthly city can and should become. We can apply this metaphor to us. Yerushalayim shel ma'ala can also teach us the ideal of what each of us can become. Throughout this year, we, the confirmation class, had an opportunity to learn and reflect on our Jewish values and traditions, stories of our ancestors, and the type of people we want to be. We invite you to pray with us wholeheartedly to immerse yourselves in Jewish living.
I am a Jew because my mother is a Jew, my mother's mother is a Jew, and my great-grandparents were Jews. I am a Jew who honors the legacy of my great-grandparents who, despite obstacles, showed great courage in establishing new lives and passing their religion and spiritual foundation down to my grandmother, my mother, and now me and my sister. I am a Jew because I believe in Tikkun Olam and believe that people have an obligation to repair the world, to be concerned about the well-being of others, and to try to make changes. I am a Jew because I love latkes and matzo ball soup. I am a Jew because I believe in the value of community. I am a Jew who will proudly pass down my faith to my own children, Lador Vador. Throughout this confirmation year, I have learned about new issues and conflicts in our current world. Learning about these subjects has helped me learn about myself as well. During the Letaken seminar, I presented a position paper about the importance of fighting anti-Semitism. As I got into researching the topic, I surrounded myself with mountains of new information on the subject. Writing about and publicly sharing my personal experience with anti-Semitism played a big factor in helping me realize how impassioned I am about it. Without this class, I would not have taken the time to inform myself further on the issues of anti-Semitism. Let us welcome the Shabbat with music and in song, and transform this evening into a bride, as we have done for hundreds of years. Lahado di Likrat Kala on page 21.
Shabbat Shabbat la 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 lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha lecha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
Please rise. Bo'i v'shalom ateret balad gam besimcha u'tzmalam toch emunei am segula bo'i kala la 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 leha leha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat leha leha dodi likrat likrat kala b'nei b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Please be seated. I am a Jew because its values and teachings have truly made me a better person. Being a Jew has allowed me to grow into the person I am today and has taught me so much about making the world a better place. Being Jewish has given me a second home at Temple Beth Am and some of the best friends that I have made in the day school or in Hebrew school. I am so proud to be Jewish because we have overcome so much in our history, yet we continue to thrive. Being a Jew in today's world means always having a strong community in your corner. Now more than ever, there are so many Jewish organizations to be a part of, and it's hard to ever feel alone. I am so thankful to have such a strong Jewish community. As a Jewish American, the Lital Ken seminar taught me that my voice is powerful and can make real change. I have learned that every person in the country has a say in our government, and I have learned the importance of social action in taking charge in my community.
We have a lot to celebrate this evening, our amazing confirmation students, and also an amazing bat mitzvah. So it's my pleasure to invite Samantha Stone to the bima, along with her sisters, Melanie and Reagan and Addison. We'll see. Melanie, if you want to stay at the bottom of the steps, that's okay. And her amazing parents to light candles and bring in Shabbat.
As we enter into this space, into the sanctuary tonight, we take in a deep breath, preparing for the next 24 hours of rest and renewal. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, Kivanu v'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
L'chaim, you can take a sip. Mazel tov to Christy and Andrew and all of your sisters, and especially you, Samantha. We're going to invite you to go back to your seats, but Sam, if you'll stay with us, we'll put you on the end so maybe people can see you.
I am a Jew. Whether it was through early childhood at Temple Beth Am or attending Sunday school, our parents raised us to be Jews. Now as a teenager, being Jewish is a choice we make on our own every single day. Attending confirmation class, going to Bapti, it's not required, but I choose to do it because I love being Jewish, I'm proud to be Jewish, and I love our community. I am a Jew because I try to be a good person guided by the lessons of the Torah and Tikkun Olam. I am a Jew because I come from a long line of Jews, dating back thousands of years, proud to carry the torch of values, morals, and religious and cultural rituals that have bound our people for generations. We have been given this compass of values, and it is our opportunity and responsibility to follow what has been passed on to us to make the world a better place. Shabbat is now among us. It is now when each and every one of us looks for Shabbat space and time for the soul. Please rise for the call to worship, the Barhu on page 28.
I am a Jew because being a Jew means that I am automatically accepted into a very special club. Now, this club has multiple names. Some may call it a community, a congregation, a family, but I choose the word club because it is something I am proud of. When I apply for colleges, I can proudly list the clubs that I partake in, which help better my community. During this confirmation year, I learned many lessons that will resonate with me for years to come. I learned to be more trusting of others. At the beginning of the year, I closed myself off from the others in the group because I was not yet comfortable around them. I missed out on many opportunities to have fun and make memories with my peers due to my discomfort. When I finally allowed myself to open up, I began looking forward to going to confirmation, and I have made so many great memories with my fellow confirmation students.
I am a Jew because of my love for my Jewish community. To me, being Jewish means following Jewish rituals and traditions that connect me both to my family, 2,000 years of ancestors that practice these same traditions, and to all Jews around the world simultaneously sharing these customs. One of Judaism's core values is kindness, gemilut chasadim, kindness to one another, kindness to both the fortunate and unfortunate, and even kindness to those who are not kind to you. In Deuteronomy 15:11, it states, there will never cease to be needy ones in your land. As Jews, it is our moral responsibility to care for those in need. By taking care of others and giving respect and dignity when we do, I gain a sense of righteousness. The biggest challenge we face as contemporary Jews is anti-Semitism. With social media and other online platforms to spread misinformation and other rumors about Jewish people in the state of Israel, the current generation of Jewish teens is immersed in a hostile environment. Important influencers such as Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and others have made ignorant, hateful comments in the media that have resulted in a large uprising in anti-Semitism and anti-Semitic incidents. Personally, I have experienced anti-Semitic comments and jokes from my peers. I know I should say something even when it's uncomfortable to do so. This is where kindness can be powerful. I find even if we are disrespected, accused of false action, and even made fun of, we should respond with kindness. By educating our peers and spreading a message of unity, we can take the high road and become a safer and more loving people. I would like to see a world where religion doesn't identify a person and where race won't have an influence on people's safety. Please turn to page 31 for Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Am Ha'ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, U'kimu mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, Mishocheinu u'kumeinu, Nasiat bechulecha, Ve'yismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam va'ed. Ken Eloheinu be'orech yameinu, u'orech yameinu, B'chem neged yomam v'layla, yomam v'layla. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
I am a Jew because my actions are guided by Jewish values. When you are Jewish, there's a spectrum of belief. Everyone is accepted, regardless of how they choose to express their Judaism. My core values are informed by Jewish teachings and beliefs. Integrity is a critical value. It is important to do the right thing even when no one else is watching. Your actions leave your mark on the world, and therefore, you should always take actions that make you proud and reflect your best self. My Jewish values allow me to connect with other Jewish people. They give us a chance to make a change in the world together.
I'm a Jew because I come from a Jewish family, and I've embraced the values, cultures, and traditions of the Jewish faith. Being Jewish makes me part of a community that has overcome persecution, discrimination, and adversity together. As a community, we stand in solidarity with Israel and what is good for the world. I actively give back to my community, taking part in Tikkun Olam to heal our world and celebrate the Jewish holidays and customs with my family. Overall, being Jewish is one of the many sources of meaning and purpose in my life. To be a Jew in today's world means to be part of a vast community that spans over every continent, many different cultures, and many different languages. Being Jewish in today's world means to embrace history and to stand up for what is right. It means to seize the opportunity and contribute to society. During this confirmation year, I learned a lot about my Jewish heritage and also my relationships with my friends. I learned about why I'm a Jew, what it means to be one. With each lesson, I expanded my knowledge about the rich and complex nature of Jewish history. I developed a deeper understanding of their traditions and customs, which I implement into my daily life and appreciate in our community. Speaking as a whole, our entire class developed many necessary skills, including listening and respect. listening. The Shema is considered one of the most essential declarations of faith. I invite you to rise and join us in the Shema, affirming God's singularity and sovereignty. Please turn to your song sheet for our preamble to the Shema, followed by the Shema on page 34.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Shem kevod malchuto leolam va'ed.
You may be seated. We invite Bat Mitzvah Samantha to lead us in chanting the Vahafta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לעוד על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהים, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהים אמת.
We wish Mazel Tov one more time to the Stone family, and we cannot wait to celebrate with you tomorrow.
I am Jewish because of how connected I still am and feel towards Judaism. I am a Jew because I feel a deep connection to the Jewish people. I enjoy Jewish holidays and observe Jewish traditions with my family and friends. Being exposed to the values of Judaism at a young age has had a big impact on my life and has greatly affected how I live and what values I possess to this day. I am able to embody the Jewish values that guide me on my daily life and make me live a happier and fuller life. Being Jewish isn't just belonging to religion, it's belonging to a family, community, amazing culture, having a commitment to the greater good, and more. For these reasons, I'm proud to call myself a Jew. Core values have a huge influence on the choices we make. They're basically the guiding principles that one follows, which end up shaping one's beliefs and behaviors. Values express what is most important to a person, their goals, and what the person most wants in their heart. In other words, these values are a framework for decision making that helps guide us to make the right choices. Overall, to live a true and happy life, we need to stay true to our values, and Judaism guides us to the correct decisions in our lives.
I am a Jew because of my heritage and culture that was passed down to me through generations of my family. Being Jewish gives me a sense of belonging, community, values, and ideas that guide me through life. The strength and resilience of Jews has made me proud and honored to embrace and uphold being Jewish. This year, during confirmation, I have assured and redefined my idea of what being a Jew is. I have learned new values, new ideas of what Judaism means, built a strong community, and most importantly, found that Judaism is something I'm proud of and happy to call part of me. I have also learned about the responsibilities that come with being a Jew, such as working to make the world a better place. Being a Jew in today's world means pride. Pride in our people, pride in the state of Israel, and most importantly, pride in the value it holds.
I am a Jew. I am a Jew because of great traditions and the guidance Judaism brings to my life. For me, my dear religion provides a platform on which my values prosper and my character strengthens. I live for moments of joy brought my connection with the Jewish religion. Every Friday night, I light Shabbat candles. A sense of tranquility overcomes my mind, which impacts the choices I make in my everyday life. During this confirmation year, I reflected on how being Jewish impacts me as a person. Confirmation classes have helped me recognize my core values and how to live my life with their guidance. I have learned to appreciate greatly what I have and think introspectively in order to learn more about who I am. I also realized how important it is to have a sense of community around me. On a trip to Washington, D.C., I was able to experience this by connecting with my peers and meeting with other young Jewish teens from all over the country. This year has provided me with great opportunities to learn about myself and others through the lens of Judaism. Please join us in the Mi Chamocha, the Song of Freedom.
I am proud to be Jewish because the religion and the culture behind it teaches me to remember where I came from and the roads my ancestors traveled. It also gives me pride that though my people have been persecuted for thousands of years, we still prevail and live on happily. Confirmation this year has taught me and given me reasons why I identify as a Jew. It has given me values and beliefs that help guide my path in life. It gives me community and also taught me that I can greatly impact the world. On our confirmation trip, we went to D.C. to speak to Florida senators and representatives and ask them to listen to our opinions on issues that are important to us as Jews and as Americans. Doing this as a teenager has shown me that as a grown-up, I will be able to achieve even greater things. It has given me a look at a brighter future.
Being a Jew is a fundamental part of who I am, and it holds great importance in my life. Through confirmation, I have had the opportunity to explore and deepen my understanding of what it means to be Jewish and why it's important. Being a Jew means carrying on the legacy and preserving traditions and values from my grandparents and their grandparents and so on. Being Jewish is not only a religion to me, it is a way for me to connect with others and a guide through life. All my life, I've been surrounded by Judaism, starting with Temple Beth Am Day School. This has allowed me to connect with other Jews and build deep relationships with them. The Letaken seminar was a powerful trip. It informed me that as a Jewish American, my voice is powerful and my voice can change the world.
It inspired me to speak out against what I think is wrong and take action to improve the world.
I am a Jew. It is part of my family history. I love celebrating the holidays, being supported by such a caring community. This year, in confirmation, I have strengthened the relationship with my peers. They are amazing friends. I learned that my core values impact the choices I make by making me accountable for my actions, making me a better person and learning to become a more responsible and worthy human being. Hashkivenu is one of the most beloved prayers of the evening service. It goes back to ancient times when sleep was poorly understood. The sages believed that sleep was 1/60th of death. Thus, the custom developed a bedtime prayers. Please join us on our interpretation of the Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu. Sometimes I lay under the moon. I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon. I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around, because all my life I've been waiting for, I've been praying for the people to say that we don't want to fight no more. There'll be no more wars, and our children will play. One day, one day, one day, one day, one day, one day. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu shomreinu lechaim.
I am a Jew, and my identity is deeply rooted in my heritage, traditions, and faith. Being a Jew goes beyond more religious affiliation. It encompasses a tapestry of cultural, historical, and communal bonds. As a Jew, I am proud to be part of a community which values education, critical thinking, and the exploration of ideas. Being a Jew means embracing the values of justice, compassion, and the concept of repairing the world. These principles fuel my commitment to social justice and making a positive impact on the world. In addition, my Jewish identity is shaping my worldview and sense of belonging. As a young Jewish teenage girl, I feel the danger of anti-Semitism. While the world has made progress in terms of acceptance and inclusivity, anti-Semitic incidents will still persist. Another challenge is finding my place in an increasingly diverse society while maintaining a connection to my Jewish identity. Balancing multiple aspects of my identity and navigating the complexities of the modern world will be a challenge that I'm ready to take after this confirmation year.
I am a Jew because it is something that represents me and has helped me develop into who I am today. It is something that I can identify by and represents my family and culture. It is something I am proud to show through my everyday life. The confirmation class taught me many things about myself. I've learned that Judaism is not just Torah, but it stretches beyond, looking at everything from the way you treat people to your basic everyday life. During our trip to Washington, D.C., I learned that despite what you might think is right, People may disagree with you and try to sway you their way. I learned that I won't give in and will continue to do what I think is right. I realized that inside me is a strong love for Judaism that I had not had to this great extent before confirmation, and I will carry it with me for the rest of my life. I have learned new values and ideas of what it means to be Jewish, as well as showing pride for Israel and the Jewish community. This year taught me to stand up to challenges, be welcoming, understanding, and open to work with anyone despite what they think about me, their political association, race, religion, or sex. But most of all, I gained an appreciation of coming together as a community and being part of a strong group connection at confirmation. If you are able, please rise for the Amidah on page 46.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Eminenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagador, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekonei HaKol, Vezoher Hasadim Ve'imahot, Umevi Elah, Livnei Benean, Lemash Shema Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umashiach Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham,
אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה, רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחייל חיים וחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומחיה אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בגבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated.
I'm a Jew because it is my culture and heritage. Being Jewish allows me to carry traditions, stories, and values that have been passed down for thousands of years. I am proud to be a Jew, as it doesn't always make me a part of the majority group. It also means being a part of a history of resilience and perseverance. My core values determine my actions and decisions and guide me toward the right choices that align with my beliefs and principles. One of my core values is honesty. For me, that helps me tell the truth, even in difficult situations that could lead to negative consequences. Another one of my core values is compassion. This helps me make choices that help others. One final value that I have is responsibility, which enables me to follow through on commitments and take ownership of my actions. All these values shape who I am as a person.
Confirmation was a wonderful experience. I enjoyed the sessions and especially the trip to Washington. I realized how privileged I am and the power we have to change things in our community and our country. I learned how to recognize cults and dangerous groups. I learned that kindness can get you far, and I learned to lead my life by the core values I learned at home and here at Temple Betham.
I am a Jew because I choose to learn about and connect with my ancestry and ancient culture. This confirmation year, I've learned that I am able to remain composed yet inquisitive while learning about serious and even dangerous topics. I learned that I often find myself engaging in deep, meaningful conversations and sometimes debates surrounding current events and society's treatment towards marginalized minorities. To be a Jew is to believe in the Torah. Whether that be literally or spiritually, every Jew connects to the Torah and its teachings in their own unique manner. The Torah has been our guide for thousands of years, and its lessons are still relevant today. We continue with Ritzeh.
Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Utefilatam, utefilatam, be'ahava tikabel. Utefilatam, utefilatam, be'ahava tikabel. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Utehi leratzon tamid avodah Yisrael ameha. Utehi leratzon tamid avodah Yisrael ameha. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu be'am ha'Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Hamahazir Shehinato
We continue to pray silently.
Judaism teaches us not to stand idly by when we see injustice. Confirmation taught us that we each have a voice that must be used for good. Confirmation reminded us that every person is empowered to make a difference in this world. One of the songs we learned at the Latakian seminar, Elana Arian's song, I Have a Voice. In her lyrics, Elana states, "My voice is powerful, my voice can change the world." We each have a role to play, a seat at the table, and a choice to make. Let's use our voices to change the world.
I will open my eyes. I will not look away. I will use this gift I've been given every day. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world. I will give up myself. I will reach out my hand. I will use this heart I've been given to take a stand. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Adonai Eloheinu, lech haolam zanu, she'asanu, b'tselem Elohim. Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam esanu, she'asanu. Elohim, have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. I have a voice. My voice is powerful. My voice can change the world. Change the world.
Shabbat Shalom. Today, our confirmants celebrate a year-long journey of Jewish learning. Confirmation is an opportunity for our teens to stand together in solidarity, each according to who they are. It is an invitation to continue learning and growing spiritually. The Torah was written thousands of years ago, yet every story, every character in it is still relevant today. Jews has passed the Torah and its teaching from one generation to another, ledor vador. Today, we're asking one representative of each generation and one classmate of each grade in high school to proudly accept and receive the Torah as they each recognize that Judaism, with its customs, ritual, and communal experiences, elevate their lives and brings meaning and purpose. We invite Edith Osman, Stacy Jones, Jax Mizrahi, Cameron Gassin. We're going to be here. Sorry. Jack Deemer as a representative of our confirmation, and Danny Mazer from the pre-confirmation class as they become a link in the Jewish chain. Please rise as we take the Torah from the ark.
I have to hold it. Yeah, you gotta hold it. I'll hold this. Here, I'll hold everything else. Okay. I proudly accept the Torah and have inculcated its teachings to my children and grandchildren. The Torah has given me a moral compass to lead a life of goodness and honor. On behalf of the Dor HaZahav, the generation of the grandparents, I charge our children to accept the Torah.
I came prepared. Oops. This is a Torah that I accepted here at Temple Beth Am decades ago when I confirmed my Jewish faith. I take pride in continuing this tradition and seeing our children on this bima today, Lador Vador, from generation to generation.
On behalf of my senior class, I accept the teachings of the Torah as I embark on a new journey away from home. I promise to continue my Jewish engagement in college, Lador Vador, from generation to generation.
On behalf of my junior class, I accept this Torah and reaffirm the commitment to Judaism beyond confirmation. I am involved and will continue participating in the Temple Beth Am youth programs where I constantly live and learn Torah, Lador Vador, from generation to generation.
On behalf of the confirmation class, I proudly accept the teachings of the Torah and reaffirm the commitment to Judaism and the Jewish people. I believe Judaism is a lifelong learning, and I charge my confirmation class to continue being involved in Jewish and Israeli programs and organizations, Lador Vador, from generation to generation.
On behalf of the 9th grade class, I accept this Torah and commit to participate in the 5,784 confirmation class, learning from our clergy and Gary, wrestling with life's big questions and strengthening my connection to the Jewish people and our traditions. Lador Vador, from generation to generation.
You may be seated.
On this special Shabbat, as we celebrate this incredible confirmation class, we want to recognize this teen with a confirmation certificate and a gift. Actually, the gift came all the way from Israel. Okay. Our confirmation has studied all year with the clergy and Gary Eisenberg to deepen their knowledge and connection to Judaism. We will now call each of our confirmand up to receive their gifts and a blessing from the clergy.
Madison Williams.
Natalie Schwartz.
Seth Safran.
Shira Rosenberg.
Matthew Moskowitz.
Anya Krislav.
Benjamin Jones.
Scott Gould.
Sophia Goldner.
Adi Gold.
Gabriel Freund.
Ethan Applebaum.
Aiden Applebaum.
Jack Deemer.
Sasha Krebel.
Alexis Cohen.
Sydney Coggins.
Orly Clarion.
This week, Jews around the world, it's a fresh moment, something that happens 5 times a year when we open up a new book of Torah, as we completed the book of Leviticus last Shabbat, and this week move into the book of Bamidbar. Bamidbar, the 4th book of the Torah, means in Hebrew, in the wilderness. But it's often translated by the English name Numbers. And Numbers, it's a weird title. Why is in the wilderness translated as Numbers? Now, the 4th book of the Torah, there were only supposed to be 4 books. But because the Jews wandered around for 40 years because of their sins, they had these other experiences. And so God said, well, since all of these things are important, we need another book about what happened during these 40 years in the wilderness. But the first thing that happened is the Jews spent a lot of time at Mount Sinai. After they got the Torah, they didn't just leave. They stayed for almost an entire year, into the 11th month. And as they got into the 11th month, God said to Moses and to his brother Aaron, it's time to count the Jews, to figure out exactly how many of them there are. And in this week's Torah portion, we go through and we see tribe by tribe how many people were in each one. Now, we only count the men of a certain age because what they were really trying to count was how many people they had for the army. Because a war was coming, probably sooner rather than later, and the Jewish people had to be prepared to protect themselves as they moved through the wilderness and towards the land of Israel. But it took a long time to count the Jews. It just took us a long time to count these kids. Each one, until you had to stand up, it took a little while. But imagine if you had to count 1.2 million people. Jews waiting in line. 1.2 million people. Jews don't do well with lines. So they got in line, and it took weeks. And it took weeks and weeks to count every Jew. The question is why? How hard is it to go 1, 2, 3? What happened was, each Jew came up to the mountain where the Torah was given, and they had this moment where each Jew stood in front of Moses and Aaron. And Moses and Aaron didn't count them. We don't really count Jews. In fact, you're not allowed to. What they did was, when each Jew came in front of Moses and Aaron offered them a personal blessing. Something very special. Something that they wanted each of those Jews who came in front of them to remember forever. And what they said is, God told us to count the Jews because once we do, and once we leave from this place, God's presence is coming with us. But he's not going to come with us until each one of you has had that blessing. And the whole purpose of this week's Torah portion, the whole reason that it's called Numbers, is because each and every Jew was given a personal blessing by Moses and Aaron in front of Mount Sinai, a moment that they would remember forever. And so, just like every Jew got to speak to Moses and Aaron at the scene of Mount Sinai where the Torah was given, your kids got to speak to me, Rabbi Aklepi, and Rabbi Greengrass. And it's like the same thing. Right? Okay, maybe it's not as profound. But the goal of the moment and the goal of this service and the confirmation experience was the same reason that it took so long to count all of the Jews at Mount Sinai. God knew and told Moses and Aaron so that they would know that if each and every Jew does not have a profound personal experience right here and now, then when they leave, this will have become a fleeting moment. And so, several years after bar and bat mitzvah, we have confirmation. And the hope is that the experience that they've had together and with us, that the words you heard them explain about what it means to them to be Jewish, that this night, standing before all of their friends and family in this holy place, will be that moment of imprint on their soul that will stick with them, that will be something that they will remember forever, just as each Jew did when they received a blessing from Moses and Aaron. And so as we stand here tonight on this holy moment, as we now prepare the Jewish people in just a week's time for the holiday of Shavuot, where we recall the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai, we celebrate these students who have come forward and said that I am prepared to be confirmed. I'm interested in learning and investigating the depth of my faith, and I'm proud to be Jewish, to stand up for the state of Israel, and to represent my community. So at this moment, I would like to invite forward the parents of all of our confirmands and offer them up on the bima your own personal prayer to your children. Hey guys. Mazel tov.
I sing along. I'm joking.
Mazel tov. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
Thank you.
How are you? Good to see you. Mazel tov.
He's our representative. I know. I'm sorry.
See you later.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
Give me 2 seconds.
I guess we're done.
Are you
sure that's it?
My comments then we should so I switched them. Yeah, it's nice when there's actually people. It's really nice. Loves it. All right, okay. Thank you to all of our parents. As we celebrate some of the blessings tonight, we also want to take a moment to think of all of those who are ill and those who are in need of God's healing presence. If you have a name of someone that you'd like to include in our prayers tonight, I ask you to just say that name aloud right now to yourself as we will say together in a moment the blessing. Feel free to say any name of someone for whom you are praying tonight. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, O God, who brings healing to the sick.
Amen.
Amen.
We're going to continue now with counting the Omer on page 278 of your prayer books. As we said, we're counting up, and the holiday of receiving the Torah is so close, we can almost feel it. We hope you'll join us for our incredible Shavuot programming next week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sefirat ha'omer. Today is the 44th day, which is 6 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. Hayom arba'a ve'arba'im yom shisha shavuot la'omer. We continue now with the Aleinu. Please rise as a community, page 282. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כרוממם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. How lucky we are to share Shabbat like this with our confirmation class, who've shared their reflections, their ideas of what it is to be a Jew today for them in their own unique ways. And as they've grown, they've reflected your values and what you have taught them back this evening. And it's not only what we've taught them here or what we've immersed them with at Temple Beth Am and what you've immersed them with at your home, but what you've done comes from those who have come before you. And so now at the Mourner's Kaddish, we think of all those who have gone before us, who have implanted wisdom within us, who have loved us and cared for us, and that continues from generation to generation. It is our custom here at Temple Beth Am, if your loved one's name is called, to stand and remain standing through the Mourner's Kaddish. Our congregation is thinking of those people who have passed during the last 30 days: Dr. Ronald B. Hines, Judith Gilbert Gould, Howard Gross, Dr. Jeffrey Hertz, Marcia J. Friedman. And we are remembering those who have passed during this last year: Judy Agron, Lillian Berman, Hyusia Perelman Bernstein, Charlotte Glovsky Brody, Arthur Farkas, Florence Farkas, Rosalie Ferris, Linda Frankel, Mitchell Mitch Friedman, Jocelyn Jeroff, Andrew Gross, Dr. Martin Glazer, Dr. Henry Irwin Glick, Rivka Ricky Blattner Goldman, Joseph Harvest, Rosa Henigman, Evan Higgins, Ruth LaShaw, Janice Levy, Phyllis Lieberman, Lawrence Larry Parker, Eric Polk, Karen Michelle Solomon, Susan D. Score, Bela Malka, Marsha Weinstein, Harriet Zeller. We are honoring the memories of those who have passed at this season and years past as we observe their yahrzeit: Esther Abbott, Harvey Addis, Carl Adler, Selig Jap Apperman, H. Lawrence Asher, Gilda Ashkenazi, Marilyn Baumol, Eva Ruth Berry, Elvira Blyer, Dr. Eduardo Bloom, Nathan Brammeister, Mendel Braun, Herman Bronstein, Rose Brenner, David Brody, Morris Burke, Elva Bush, Maria Kambler, Dr. John Cassell, Dorothy Coe, Jesse G. Cohen, Samuel Cohen, Dr. Jacob Kolsky, Joseph Kravit, David Zuckerberg, Samuel Danziger, Pearl Dresnick, Ida Dubik, Betty Dubik, Boris Dushani, Meyer El-Qaim, Martin Epstein, Margaret Ferenczi, Berna Fisher, Charlotte G. Fleischer, Martin Friedman, Herman Friedlander, Gladys Gallant, Sarah Geller, Irving Getz, Hilda Shapiro Ginsburg, Dr. Stanley Glass, Ray Marks Goldberg, Rhoda Goldman, Myron Mikey Goldman, Florence Goldstein, Mina Levison Goldstein, Joyce Golinsky, Ella Gross, Marlene Druckman Gross, Charlotte Grossberger, Sylvia Grossinger, Richard Allen Grossman, Samuel Halperin, Brandon Hamill, Shirley Harris, Gertrude Harris, David Hellman, Jerome Hoffman, Etta Coulter, Sophie Coulter, Alex Kaplan, Timothy Martin, Tim Kashuk, Zoila Katz, Sam Katz, Grace D. Kaufman, David Karl Kozakowski, Newt N. Krasenstein, Florence Letterman, Royce Lannis Lerman, Elsie Lewin, George H. Light, Leslie Lip Cleveland, Harold Lowenstein, George Malin, Sylvia Margolis, Shirley Massell, Jacob Moses, Sidel Olchik, Annalie Ozdeby, Carolyn Polsky, Cecile Potoksky, Edward Quartin, Francis Rapp, Edwin Stephen Reisman, Faye Reps, Albert Rosenthal, Carol Yvonne Rawson, Saul Scheckman, William Shanbrun, Jerry Shepard, Seymour Siegel, Edith Silver, Mildred Silverman, George Sleminski, Jack Somer, Chaya Minnie Sorkin, Claire Stanley, Sarah Steinberg, Molly Stone, Sarah Suchman, Myron Mike Sussman, Joseph Tannenbaum, Richard Tooby, Miles J. Tralins, Milton Warshaw, Louis Wilk, Jack Wolf, Paula Freed-Woolman, J. William Zimmerman, Charles Zinn, Phyllis Zisman. If there are others here in this evening who would like to share the name of a loved one whose yahrzeit occurs at this time, please raise your hand and call their name. We turn to page 294 in our Siddur. We rise for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kori v'imru, amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach la'olam la'omei almaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kedusha b'richu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'amiran bi'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei sholama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who brings peace from the high heavens let peace descend on all of us. May God comfort all who are bereaved among us. And together we say, Amen. You may be seated.
This Sunday, we have our Temple Beth Am annual meeting here in the sanctuary. I believe at 4 o'clock. Followed by a dinner and a program, and I'll have a lot more to say then about our president, David Young. But tonight, it's a bit emotional for me, for all of us, to think that after 2 incredible years, this is David's last Friday night as president of Temple Beth Am before he becomes the immediate past president, and Rich Siegel becomes the new president of Beth Am at the annual meeting. As I said, I'll have a lot more to... Yeah, why not? There's a few fans. Good usage. As I said, I'll have a lot more to say on Sunday, but because this is the last opportunity on Friday night, I wanted to just add a couple of sentences. First of all, to say that David has been one of the most extraordinary presidents that I've ever worked with, and particularly on Friday nights. He's used this bima to promote not only his incredible love for everything Temple Beth Am, but also to use this bima to promote justice and righteousness and everything that is goodness. It's a bit emotional for me because I love David very much, and to see him have his last Friday night is not easy. But for the last time, it's a great honor to invite forward for some announcements and words of greeting our president, Judge David Young.
You know, it's interesting. Out of nowhere last night, I decided I want to see the book that I won and awarded my former synagogue because it was my confirmation. I opened the book. 49 years ago today, I was confirmed at my synagogue. Pretty cool. And we heard these young people talk about what it means to be a Jew. I would correct you guys. It's because you are a Jew that you have a heck of a burden and an obligation to do more. Because throughout this world, there are still many of those individuals who want us annihilated. There are many of those who scream anti-Semite. There are many of those that applauded what happened in Auschwitz and Birkenau and all the concentration camps. That's a fact of life. But because of the incredible education you got here at Beth Am, the incredible religious school that Tamara has and her whole entire staff have educated and challenged you, you are our future. I'll talk about on Sunday my purpose in life. And this is my purpose. Let's give him a round of applause. And thank you, my Beth Am family. Shabbat will never be the same. But what will be the same is the love, the dedication, the proudness we feel here at Beth Am, and for you teaching your children and teaching your grandchildren that what we do here is sacred, what we do here is important, and we heard Lador Vador, well, we need to make Lador Vador. We need to have this go on for generation to generation to generation, so we continue to thrive, and as your president, that was my passion, and that was my goal, and to work with incredible people. Thank you for making this my final Shabbat, kids. You are all amazing. Oh, one more thing. How did you get so tall? No, seriously, Tamara, how did they do this? Mazel tov, and thank you all very much.
Chicken soup. Thank you.
I'd like to invite up David's partner, Scott. Please come to the bima. We need you two up here for our closing song tonight, led by our confirmands, Osei Shalom. Everyone, please rise. You guys stay here.
round of applause, everyone. Mazel tov.
Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov to our confirmands. There's a confirmation dinner in the next room. Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov to the Stones. Excited to celebrate tomorrow.